Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this special edition of the EdenWorld Green Chat. And this is a special edition because it coincides with the World Forestry Congress in Seoul, Korea. And it's always great for even from our end to bring you exciting news, exciting stories, and to interview key personnel, people who are doing great as far as forestry, as far as the environment is concerned, who are attending the conference. And what we are doing with this live session is for us to hear from them, hear from people who are attending the conference directly from Korea. And right now, from Seoul, I would like to welcome my good friend Samantha Natumanya. You are welcome, Samantha.
Thank you, Ola. Thank you, Ola. It's a privilege to be here
Samantha.
as well. Yes.
All right. Very quickly, can you tell us about yourself? What you do very quickly.
Okay, thank you. My name is Samantha Natumanya. I'm a forestry project officer currently working at Fair Ventures Worldwide Uganda. I implement agroforestry projects like you've heard in my title, but also I'm a master's student at doing environment and natural resource management at Makerere University. Briefly, that's it about me. Currently attending the WFC in Seoul.
All right. Thank you so much, Samantha.
Yes, I can. They're
Yeah, can you hear
breaking
me
a
now?
bit.
Can you hear me, Samantha? Can you hear me
Yes, I
now?
can. Yes, I can.
All right. Very quickly, can you tell us about your motivation? What motivated you to joining this conference in Seoul?
Um, First of all, of course, definitely as a young forester, this is a very grand opportunity for me to that I hope to achieve to reach to. So, as motivated because this would be a platform for me to meet various stakeholders, to network, to present my voice there as well in the youth consultations, in the different sessions. So, yes, definitely the motivation is because I do forestry, I live forestry, and I love forests. So, that's the motivation, I would say. And most especially, seeking growth. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Samantha. All right. Can you tell our audience about your experience? I'm not sure if this is your first time in Korea. But then can you tell us about the
Definitely.
atmosphere there? Some of the exciting moments there in Korea.
Okay, it's quite interesting here. Like I had earlier sneaked in for you. So the weather here, we are supposed to be it's supposed to be warm, but I don't know why somehow it's very cold in the evening, but we are coping. But maybe also to tell you about the culture and the people around, I think they're so friendly, they're so outgoing, they try they try to reach out. I think it's interesting seeing the different cultures, that the language barrier, and we're using all these apps, the translators. But yeah, I think it's exciting to be here.
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Samantha?
Yes, yes, I can.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I'm just not sure whether you can hear me. Can you?
Yes, I can. I can.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. All right, I think one important thing that we should talk about is the youth participation in this conference, and as well as some other stakeholders. I'm aware that a lot of people are joining, and from the last statistic I saw from FAO, I think about 12,400
Yeah.
people are joining the
People.
event from about 144 countries. So can you tell us about the participation of youth? From what you have seen, do we have a lot of youth participating at the conference?
Yeah, actually, it's quite humbling seeing all the youth that are here from different sectors. I think young professionals, students, also Korean youth, I think students as well. So there is representation from IFSA, that's International Forest Students Association. There is young professionals that came through the WFC support scheme. There is various representatives from youth delegates from different organizations. There is students from Makerere, I have to mention, from Uganda myself. I think this Congress has given us a platform as youth because we are many, and we've been supported to come here. I think it has been very inclusive because there is, like I've mentioned, we are quite a number of youth here, and we are given the platform to partake in different sessions. All sessions are open to everyone, even the youth. We are heard, we can participate, we are able to influence something. There are youth consultations going on for the youth declaration that is coming up. So I think, yes, this time round, there has been youth representation on panels. For example, the UN, I think, representative, the lady, I think the youth was really good with her points of it should not stop at just the invitations and us sitting at the panels and just talking, but it should also come to the decision making. I think, yes, so far the inclusion has been there, and we hope that we can move a milestone further to the decision making, the resource allocation. Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And I think the next question I would like to ask you, it's a jamming one because whatever we are doing now, whatever conference we are attending, we should focus more on implementing some of the outcomes of the conference. How do you think this conference would
I think I lost you
how do
there.
you think this how do you think this conference would help to move from dialogue into action after this event? How do you think people should go about their business or their activities so as to implement some of the policies or some of the insights that will be shared or that are being shared in the course of this conference?
Okay, thank you for that question. I think one of the key things I've noticed from most of the sessions that has actually inspired me, with the IPCC report that's recent, there is like so much terror. I think some people are actually terrified, myself, because we feel like there is not much time that's going to be enough for us to reverse all these impacts. But one of the key things that has stood out for me in these sessions is the fact that everyone is urging timely collaborative action to utilize the forests and to recognize the role that they have to play for us to curb this crisis. So for me, I think the need for timely action is like very key for me. And so with all the outcomes that are coming out from the Congress, so far we have the SOFA report, we have the remote sensing survey report by FAO, We have the youth declaration coming up. I think with all the leaders we have here and the intent, like I've told you, there is a zeal for action if all these outcomes and documents that are being brought forward as a result of the Congress can be partaken, operationalized, so that action is done and we do not just stop at talking, we do not just stop at this Congress and then maybe there is another forestry event and then we talk again. If we could just operationalize whatever we are putting forward, then I think it's going to be more than just the dialogues, and I'm really hopeful for it this time that there is going to actually be various stakeholders taking concrete action. Like we've seen at the different sessions, we've seen people planting millions of trees. I think the Kenya
Yes,
movement.
yes. I
Yes,
saw the
yes.
news about
Mm-hmm.
Kenya Fund. Yeah.
Yes, I think also the Minister of Korea highlighted the vast work that the sector is doing. So it's really impressive how much action people are taking. And so this time I think it goes beyond the dialogues. Yeah. I think I lost you.
I'm trying to ask you a personal question now.
No,
So,
I have you
what do
back.
you hope to
Okay.
achieve personally when you get back to your organization and in Uganda too?
Okay. Yeah, indeed, that's a personal question. I think for me, one of the very biggest motivation, other than being a forester, as to why I came, was to learn from these different experiences. It's so interesting. There is a session called the Speakers Corner where people get to share their papers, their projects, what they are doing. And it's very insightful how much you can learn from other people's implementations of projects. And so that has equipped me with how to better improve my project implementation in regards to the forest work that I do. But also, initially, before I actually traveled, there's these different tours that are being offered after the Congress session, and one of them was to visit the Korean nursery facility. For me, I hope to learn. I think for me, what I hope to pick is to see how to do things better, how to improve the work I do, how to better serve the communities that I serve, how to what better strategies, incentives I can learn that are being implemented elsewhere so that I better serve my communities, I better serve the landscapes that I'm implementing these projects in. So, yes, my biggest motivation or what I hope to take home is these new insights, the new experiences that I hope that I can apply, but also to be able to pass my voice on the different platforms that I can reach to urge people to recognize the importance of forests in our lives, in our well being, in saving and mitigating climate change. Yes, that's my motivation. I hope I answer you right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for answering that question. All right. Final words from you. Any other thing you want to talk about?
Okay, maybe to thank you for this privilege, but also to thank FAO and the Kenyan Forest Service for this grand this grand event. I think it is still a grand event, well thought of, well packaged, the sessions well thought of, and very inclusive. I think my final words would be to thank all the organizers, but also to urge the different stakeholders especially on behalf of the youth, as we come up with our youth declaration that is as a result of this conference. I urge that we shall be given more platforms, we shall be given more inclusion in decision making, more resources, and it will not just stop at invitations. Yes, they are honorable and everything, but yes, I hope we shall be taken more seriously and that our our voice shall be given a platform to actually mean something. Yes, thank you.
Wow, that's great. Samantha Natamani, thank you so much for joining our initiative. Thank you so much for joining us, Samantha.
Thank you, Ola. Thank you. Thank you for your time as well.
Yeah, so we are going to stay in touch with you. Then we can further this conversation on another topic very soon.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you. It was nice
Yeah,
meeting you
yeah. Thank you
here.
for joining us. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
please. Okay. Stay well.